Hello guys, this is CodeNCode and this is video editorial for the problem polynomial multiplication taken from SPOJ. It's actually hard problem, and in this lecture we are going to solve it. Right? So the problem statement is very simple. You can go through the whole problem. So basically the problem says that you are given t test cases. In each test case you will be given two polynomials in coefficient form. You have to multiply those and print the result back in the coefficient form. All right. So in each test case, you will be given t, the number of test cases, followed by n, the degree of polynomial. Since n is the degree, n plus 1 coefficient will be given to you twice because there are two polynomials, right? So two test cases, degree is 2, so there will be 3 coefficient for each polynomial, right? So this is your input, right? And after that, you have to multiply those two polynomial and print the result back into coefficient form. For example, these two polynomials are 3x raised to the power 4, right? And then 8x raised to the power 3, my bad. This is actually the result. Sorry, the polynomial in the first examples are x square plus 2x plus 3, right? X square plus 2x plus 3, and of course these are coefficient. And then the second polynomial, that is 3x square plus 2x plus 1. When you multiply these two, you get 3x raised to the power 4, 8x raised to the power 3 plus 14x raised to the power 2 plus 8x plus 3, which in the coefficient form would be 3, 8, 14, 8, 3, and that's what we are printing, right? So two polynomial in coefficient form, multiply them, print them back in the coefficient form, right? So how you are going to solve this problem? Very easy. You can actually solve it using brute force, but the thing is, the brute force approach takes n square. Right, the running time of brute force approach is n square, n given as 10 to the power 4. This may result in TLE, right? Because see, test cases are 10, so it may result in TLE, right? So instead of solving using brute force, we are going to solve it using fast Fourier transform. That's right. So FFT. So for those of you who don't know about VFFT, I have a whole lecture in the course Advanced Number Theory on the channel itself, right? There is Advanced Number Theory playlist in which I have explained fast Fourier transform in detail. So you can go ahead and learn that, and after that you can try to solve this problem yourself, right? As of course I'm going to explain the solution. So we are going to solve this problem using FFT, right? And yeah, the implementation looks something like this. So we'll start from the main function. We need t, the number of test cases. We are reading that. After that, for each test case, we are reading n, right? The degree of polynomial, and then we need two polynomials. I have defined vector of integer, right? Because the coefficient are given as integer, and both a and b are vectors of integer of n plus 1 because there will be n plus 1 coefficient. After that, I'm reading a and b, right? After that, I'm multiplying a and b, reading it back into the result and printing the result, right? So if a and b are of degree n, their product will have degree n, oh sorry, 2n, right? That's why you're running a for loop till 2n and printing the 2n plus 1 coefficient, right, of the resultant. So multiply function is what implements or applies the FFT. How? See, here's the multiply function. What it does, it takes two polynomial, right, and it returns back the result of their product, right? Multiplies both of those two polynomials. So if you know how FFT works, it basically multiplies two polynomial but does all of the computation in complex plane, right? I've explained all of that in the course itself, so you can go ahead and learn that. So a and b are in the real plane, right? Or both of them are defined in the real plane, so we'll convert them into the complex plane, right? So I'm converting a and b both into fa and fb, which is basically in the complex plane, right? And these will be converted into complex numbers. So vector of complex, CD is complex double. I've defined it here. You see, I've defined CD as complex number. So it's a data type complex defined in C++. So complex number of double. What it defines double is that you write a complex number as a plus bi, right? A and b being the numerical parts. So when we say complex of double, that means those numerical parts will be of type double, right? So CD is complex number. So I am converting a and b into complex numbers, right? Complex polynomial. Now we can perform the complex multiplication. So here what we are doing. So see, if a and b are of degree n, first of all, very important part, when we are applying FFT, what we do, we change both a and b into degree n, which is perfect power of 2, basically with power of 2. And why, I've explained everything in the detail. So here what we are doing, we are defining n and then resizing a and b. After that you can multiply, or you can evaluate a and b, f of a and f of b, right, using FFT. So basically I'm applying FFT on FA and FB to evaluate those two on n different points. Once you have FA and FB, basically evaluation of original polynomial in complex plane, my bad, you can calculate the result by simply multiplying FA and FB. So that is what I'm doing here. FA, FA is equals to FA times FB. Basically all of the points I'm multiplying, because once you apply FFT, it converts the polynomial from coefficient form to value form. And now we have FA and FB in value form. And if you want to find their product in value form, it's very simple, just multiply the corresponding values. That's what we are doing here. Once we have the result in FA, we can go ahead and find the inverse of FFT for FA, which is the result, basically inverse, because the result is, after multiplication, the result is in, again, value form, right, of polynomial. We want the coefficient form. That's why we apply the inverse FFT to convert it back from value form to coefficient form, because we need to print the result in coefficient form. Now FA is in coefficient form, and FA has both real part and imaginary part. We only need the real part divided by n, because n is the multiplication, 1 by n is the multiplication factor. That's why we are dividing it by n. Explain everything in the FFT course, right? This is standard as a FFT. Once you have the result, you can return it back, and which is being printed here. The important thing is FFT and inverse FFT function, that is here. Standard FFT implementation, right? Explain everything in the lecture. So here's the FFT and the inverse FFT function. Important part here, that FFT and inverse FFT have exact same implementation, except they differ only at one line. When you calculate the angle for FFT, it is 2 pi by n. For inverse FFT, it is minus 2 pi by n. That's it. Since these two differ only by a single line, you can actually write a single function to perform FFT and inverse FFT. All right, so this is the total solution, and I have already submitted it. It works. I'll give the link of this solution in the description. All right. So, and if you want to write FFT function, a single function which does FFT and inverse FFT, you can take example from cpalgorithms.com, and you just search for FFT, and here you'll find the implementation where they have implemented function which does both the part FFT and inverse FFT in a single function. And yeah, let me just check. Yeah, here it is. And when it calculates the angle, it just applies the ternary operator to know whether to multiply it with 1 or minus 1. Basically calculate the angle in positive or negative, right? So using this, you can actually implement FFT in a single function. So yeah, this is the solution of polynomial multiplication using basic or a standard FFT implementation. As simple as that. Once you get the result, submit it, and you'll get AC also. Right? Since this is the very first problem that we are solving after learning FFT. That's why I've chosen this problem, because this is very easy. You simply just learn FFT, apply it, you got the solution. The next problem that we'll be solving will be much harder than this. All right. So yeah, this is it for this lecture. Thank you guys for watching, and till the next video drops, keep coding. Thank you.